Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kiana and I do a lot of sewing and fashion videos. And today we have another episode of me rushing to sew something because I procrastinated. So I'm going to a wedding on Saturday. Today it's Thursday, but I can't really work on it today because yeah, I'm going to go work out in a couple hours. So, and also tomorrow I have plans. So when is this dress gonna get made? I don't know, but we're still making a dress. I already bought the fabric, so it's happening. So let me show you the fabric I got. I hit up Joann Fabrics and I got this like bubble gum. It looks like really bright on camera. It's not as bright in real life. The fabric is called Blush Pink. It's more of a bubble gum, but not quite as bright as a bubble gum. I got this at Joann Fabrics. It is a Ponte knit, but the knit is super thick. I got this fabric because I knew I could whip something out super quickly because I'm not going to line this because Ponte knit, like I said, is super duper thick. It's super stretchy, so I don't have to worry about patterning everything to fit me perfectly. The stretch should work for me. And yeah, I just picked this because I thought it would be a really good fabric to work with. And although this is a knit, you can sometimes see a lot of like evening wear made from Ponte knit, especially jumpsuits and some types of dresses. So I thought that this was a really safe and easy fabric to choose because I'm making something again so last minute. Okay, so I was browsing online. I was looking up cocktail dresses made of Ponte knit fabric and I found a good few, but then I saw this Pretty Little Thing dress and I was obsessed. It's only $23 right now. And so I was like, let me buy it. I am looking for a mint green dress because green looks really good on my skin color. So I was literally gonna buy this and just pay expedited shipping, but even with expedited shipping, you know, it's not gonna get here on time. So I couldn't buy this dress, which is sad. I love this dress. I love this color, but I was like, oh, I can make it, I suppose. So I bought the fabric and I'm gonna make it. I don't know why I sketched it out. I sketched it out, but I'm literally just making the same dress basically in pink. I know a lot of you like my channel because I'm very technical. This might not be one of those videos. I'm just kidding. I will still try to be as technical as I can and explain to you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. However, just know we don't have time. Like, we really do not have time to make this dress. I'm not sure when I'm going to make it. It's just gonna happen. It might happen at 3 a.m. tonight. Who knows? We are going to cut some, you know what? I'm speaking too soon. Maybe we won't cut some corners. I guess we'll find out. Keep watching the video to find out how this all turns out. So things started off pretty rocky at the beginning. As you can see here, I just kind of have like a square piece of fabric draped over my dress form. I kind of just wanted to play with it, pull it, see if I could manipulate it, but because it was so thick, it was kind of hard to pull and stretch. So I was like, what am I gonna do? This is not working. But then I had a light bulb moment. I had an idea, as you can see here. So I decided to take it off the dress form and put it down on my table and kind of flat pattern it a little bit, not making an actual pattern, just like drawing it out with chalk on the actual fabric. So right now I'm drawing a line for the waist. I'm drawing a line that is 12 inches wide because my measurement of my waist is like 25, 26 inches. So 12 inches for the front and then 12 inches on the back of the dress would be 24 inches, which is great because then it can stretch out to kind of fit me perfectly. Then I'm making a mark about 5-6 inches above my waistline to mark where I'm going to create my bust line. And for my bust, I drew a line that was 14 inches wide, meaning it would be 28 inches in a circumference, and my bust measurement is like 30-31. Next, I'm just going to connect those two marks we made to create the side seams. Now I'm just kind of freehanding the armhole and the neckline. I'm not making a super dark mark. I'm just kind of tracing out where I think the armhole is going to be and where I think the neckline is going to be. And that just kind of comes with experience and knowing what patterns look like. Then I just trimmed it down to 1-inch seam allowance just in case I kind of messed up and I needed a little bit extra wiggle room in case it was too small. And so here's what it looks like draped on my dress form. Obviously a lot better than it looked at the very beginning. So I'm just going back in with some tailor's chalk and I'm going to redefine those armholes and, well, one armhole and then also the neckline. Now I'm taking it back off of the dress form, and I'm using a curved ruler to just clean up those curved lines a little bit. So at the armhole and then at the neckline. And then I'm going to finish cutting it out with 1-inch seam allowance because again, I want to have some wiggle room in case it's too small. And I'm just going to fold it in half so I can check to make sure that the side seams are indeed the same length, and they are, so we're good to go. And now for the back bodice, I'm basically just going to trace it out exactly how it is, but with a few changes. So I know from experience that the armhole on the back is less curved than the armhole on the front. So I'm just making that change. I also know that the neckline doesn't have to be as curved to kind of shape around the bust. It can be a little bit more straighter because it's just going around your back. So I'm kind of just eyeballing that. And this is what I know works from my experience. Again, we do not have time to make prototypes and test it out. So I am just hoping that I know what I'm doing. And you know what? It turned out good, so we're good. Now I'm just going to sew the bodice together at the side seams with my serger. Okay, so I've only been working for like 45 minutes, but it's turning out well. I'm telling you, stretch fabric is the way to go. So I have it pinned on me right now because I have like a longer torso and I wanted to see where I should do the strap. Is that what it's called? The strap? The shoulder. I wanted to figure out where to put the shoulder seam, so I just pinned it and then I'm going to mark it with some chalk and do that. I'm gonna kind of pull so that this doesn't gap. See how this is kind of, you know. But that will be fixed a little bit too because when I turn this under and hem it, I'm going to place a small elastic in there so that it can stay really tight against my body. Yeah, so I think I'll just sew up that shoulder and then work on the skirt. So I just continued by sewing the shoulder seam and then I decided to work on the skirt. So for the skirt, I'm basically using that same kind of method that I used for the bodice. I am making the waistline seam of the skirt 12 inches wide on the front and the back because that's what I did on the bodice and I want those side seams to match up. So right now in particular, I am patterning the back skirt. So I have it folded in half because I just want to pattern one side and then cut it out on the fold. So I made the waist 6 inches wide because when you unfold it, it will end up being 12 inches wide. Then I made a mark 9 inches down from the waistline because that is where the fullest part of my hips is. And I measured that out to be 9 inches wide. 9 plus 9 will be 18 on the front and 18 plus 18 would be 36 total. I'm showing you that I marked 8 inches, but I actually went back and did 9 inches because 8 was way too tight. I made my skirt 28 inches long because I wanted it to go past the knee, and then I just used a straight edge to continue with the side seam. And then again, I'm cutting out with 1-inch seam allowance. So that was the back skirt. Now we're going to cut out the front skirt. Basically, I'm just going to trace around it. However, on that center fold, I'm gonna leave about 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch extra because I'm going to use that to help create my slit later on, and you'll see what I mean then. Other than that, I'm going to cut out the exact same side seam, length, all of that. So as you can see here, the front skirt is about 1 inch wider than the back skirt. So I'll just take the back skirt and get it out of the way for now. Now I'm going to decide where I want my slit to be. I want it on the side, so I'm drawing it here, and then I'm just going to cut up that line. Now I'm going to work on the slit, so first I'm going to finish these edges with my serger. Then it's time to go over to my sewing machine, so I'm just threading my bobbin, getting it all prepped, and then I'm going to sew that slit together. And I accidentally sewed all the way down that seam, when in reality, you're only supposed to sew down to where you want the slit to begin. So I had to go back and seam rip that slit open, and then I went back and re-sewed that seam just down to where I want the slit to begin. Next, I brought the front skirt over to my ironing board and I just pressed open that seam. I used about between like 1/2 inch or 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and I just pressed open the entire seam even where the slit is and it's not sewed together. Then I'm folding that under and I'm going to hem my slit. So I'm just using the place where we ironed kind of as a guide to help it stay down nice and smooth while we're sewing. When I get to the top of the slit, I'm going to pivot a couple times so that I can sew the other side of the slit. And then after that, your slit is done. And when you place the front and back skirts together now, they should line up perfectly. They should be the same width because we took out that extra seam allowance that we had earlier. Then I'm going to sew the side seams with my serger. After that, I'm going to connect the skirt and the bodice at the waistline by just placing them right sides together and serging all the way around that waistline. Now I'm going to finish the neckline and armhole. So for the neckline, like I said, I'm going to place this little elastic. It's a 1/2 inch wide elastic. And I'm going to place that on the inside, on the wrong side of the neckline. And I'm going to serge it at the edge there to connect it to the fabric. And while I'm serging, I'm going to be pulling it ever so slightly so that it can stay really secure up against my neckline so that it won't gape out. Then I'm bringing it back over to my sewing machine, folding it under so that the elastic gets hidden on the inside, and I'm going to use my twin needles to just sew that down. A twin needle is basically like a cover stitch. You can use a cover stitch machine. You could also use a zigzag stitch. It doesn't matter as long as you use a stitch with stretch to top stitch that in place. I also sewed the armhole by just turning it under after serging it and then just sewing it with a zigzag stitch. Okay, so today is the day of the wedding. I look insanely tired. That's because I am. I haven't worked on the dress a lot. I only worked on it for like a couple hours the other night. I didn't work on it yesterday because I thought I could grind it out. Like, we're almost done. We just have to hem it basically and add a little sleeve detail. Yeah, and then we'll go from there. Here's the dress right now. Ready to hem. Iron is hot and ready. Oh gosh, the wedding's in a few hours. I really hope this dress turns out good so I can wear it. Otherwise, I need to run to somewhere and get a dress. Okay, here we go. So I'm just bringing the dress over to the ironing board and ironing up the hem 1 inch so it makes it easier for me to sew it later. And then I'm turning it over 1/2 inch twice to create the hem. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm a little confused because I'm looking at the sleeve thing, the sleeve part of the dress, and from one angle right here, it looks as if it's just folded in half and it's not like finished on the side at all. It looks like it's a raw edge. I don't think I want a raw edge. I know it won't ravel, but still, like, the thought of making something with like an unfinished edge makes me a little uncomfortable. So I think I'm just going to make like a rectangle that's hemmed on both sides. I think we're gonna do that because I don't want to leave it. Yeah, we don't want to leave it raw, so I'm gonna do that. So I cut out a rectangle that's folded in half with the fold on the bottom, about, I think it was 10 inches tall or 10.5 inches tall and 10 inches wide. Then I just sewed it up at the side seams and then flipped it inside out and then gave it a really good press. I did mark the top as a curve, as you can see here, because sleeves have curves so they can fit around your arm. I didn't make it super big, like I didn't make it a super big curve because it's going to be gathered, but I did adjust it after I cut this, probably 1 inch lower on both sides, so it was a little bit steeper than I cut out. Then I just went ahead and finished the top edge by serging it. After that, I created the gathers on the sleeve by sewing 2 rows of basting stitches and then grabbing 1 row of the threads, or actually both rows but one side, so like the bobbin threads, and I gathered it up, and then this is what it looked like. And then after that, I just inserted it into the sleeve area and just sewed it right on. We almost just had a disaster. I'm not gonna lie, it's a couple days after the wedding. I threw it back on so that I could show you the full dress in a little bit. But before that, I just wanna explain the horrible disaster we almost just had. So a couple hours before the wedding, I noticed that there was this big black like scuff stain on the back of the dress right on the butt. I guess I like wheeled over it with my office chair or something, but it was big. So I washed it out with soap and water, let it air dry, and then checked on it 1 hour before the wedding. 1 hour before the wedding, and saw 4 giant like water ring stains. I thought I was screwed. But don't worry, I washed the entire thing by hand super fast in like 5 minutes. I put like some detergent and water in my sink. I was scrubbing it all over. And then I threw it in the dryer with a dry towel to speed up the drying process. And it came out. We made it to the wedding on time. Obviously still early because we don't want to show up right at the ceremony time. But we made it on time. I was a wee bit damp, but we made it with 0 stains. And that's the tea. So, do you want to see this dress? Let me show it to you. Ta-da! Here is the final dress. Woo! I love it. I think it's perfect. It came out exactly how I wanted it to. Like I said, the wedding was a couple days ago. It's a little wrinkled. I tried to iron it out, but I was also just sitting down, so it might be a little wrinkled in places. Might have a couple of food stains. Who knows? I was eating good at that wedding. But yeah. Here's the dress. I wore it with these nude heels from Target, only $29.99, and they're really comfortable. I think it is beautiful. I think it is wonderful. But guys, the secret to this dress was not me. Well, it might have been me a little bit, but it was really the fabric. This fabric is so easy to work with, so easy to just quickly whip something out and have it look nice. Again, it is from Joann Fabrics, and I will link the exact fabric I use down below in case you want to do something with it. But yes, anyways, that was the dress I made in a few hours, quite literally. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what you would have done maybe. And like this video if you liked the video and the dress. Also subscribe, turn on the notification bells because I would very much appreciate it. And I think that is, oh wait, no, follow me on Instagram and TikTok because I post a lot of other content there. And then you can also be part of like design decisions if you follow me on Instagram. Yes, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.